Good morning, ladies. How was your evening? Hopefully for some of you it was relaxing because you don't always get that. The one thing that I do miss about being in Jasper and being away from here is not having to do the other parts of my life and fill those roles as well while I was there. So for those of you who traveled, I hope that you had the opportunity to kind of relax last night and take in all the things. I'm a synthesizer, so it takes me a while to kind of go through stuff and go, okay, that's how I can do this. For those of you who didn't meet me on Friday, my name is Sorgen, as Jennifer alluded to. I'm the executive director for Community Futures. And the other day I was sitting beside a colleague and she was saying how the business analyst in their office next year will be celebrating 30 years with the organization. He's been there forever, blah, 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 blah. And knowing that individual, I looked at her and I was like, oh, I think we started about the same time. And it kind of made me feel good because she looked at me. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, in May of 2027, I'll be at Community Futures for 30 years. And she looked at me and it was just silent. Keep in mind, she's like 30 or something. She's like, yeah, but he's old. I was like, okay, so I'm going to take that as a veiled, like, you're not. So, and I'm really excited about it. We talked a lot about Hyperdrive yesterday and why Hyperdrive and that sort of stuff, but I will say it's completely because it's selfish. I saw an opportunity to support women. I saw how many women I was working with who had common needs and common threads and common attitudes, and I said, we have to do something for this. And we have worked with women in business our entire careers, obviously. We supported the Women in the North Conference, north of the Peace, with the Community Futures office there. They moved in a different direction, and we said, we still need to do this. And so we made Hyperdrive kind of a part of us. And I have to say, my husband, he is the reason why I know anything about Star Trek and Star Wars, and I should not know this stuff. But Hyperdrive, I named my signature event after Star Trek. So, yeah. So I'm really thrilled to be here today and to welcome onto the stage Melissa St. Pierre. Melissa and I have talked kind of numerous times over time, but never really got a chance to sit down and drill into things. And the other day, she's like, I don't know like how this will go or whatever. So I'm just asking her questions, and we're having this great conversation. About an hour and a half goes by. We'll try not to go quite that long today. And she's like, so like, how will this happen? And I was like, we'll just have this conversation in front of some people. So thank you so much for joining us.
No judgment.
So for those in the room who may not know your full story yet, who is Melissa St. Pierre beyond the business?
Before I start,
Please.
I have to give someone a shout out. I got a picture this morning of me sticking my tongue out. And Gabriella is in the back there somewhere.
She's our youngest Hyperdrive
She is our
participant.
youngest member here. And I am so incredibly proud of this drawing. And I'm proud of the fact that she's here and she's surrounded by this incredible group of women. And what an inspiration. And maybe she might be a little young to realize it now, but at some point she's going to recognize that. Hey, Gabriella. Thank you for the picture. Anyway, so yeah, let's move on then.
You know how I can tell that perhaps Melissa and I are different ages? This is my font size. That's hers.
I just have really good glasses.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself, Melissa.
I don't really know what to say. I'm from Grand Prairie. I've been here for 21 years now. I've raised my family here. My father lived here, so Grand Prairie's always been kind of home to me. Mm-hmm. And so it was just a natural decision to move back here after I got married and had a child. So that's basically it. I have been doing our business for the last 20 years. I was a wedding planner, and I was doing it as a side hustle, working corporate jobs. I worked for a bank. I did many things. I worked for the family business. And I realized that I wasn't following my dream, so I knew I needed to make a change. And so that's kind of how I got into entrepreneurship. One of the things, though, that I want to say is owning a business doesn't define who you are. It's a part of who you are.
100%.
And one of the great things about having this business is honestly being surrounded by women like yourselves. It has been such a great honor. Half the people in this room I do consider friends, and I hope you consider me a friend.
She's the fun friend.
Yeah, I'm the wild, crazy, loud, doesn't shut up friend. So
They say that introverts need an extrovert to make them do things. You are the extrovert, and a lot of us are the introverts that follow.
Yes, I do make all my friends do crazy things, which is always a good time. Yeah, I guess that's all about me. I'm really into community. I've fallen in love with Grand Prairie. I have a love-hate relationship, I'm not going to lie, because obviously I do a lot of events and those can be challenging in this community. But at the core, it's such a unique community. And one of the things that I noticed especially was during COVID, and I don't want to talk about that because that's not a fun conversation, but it really showed me how this community rallies for each other.
100%.
And, you know, especially in business, a lot of us were hurting. And I started my flower store during COVID, which we'll get to that. And so anyways, I just really love the community and happy to be here and happy to be a part of this.
Fantastic. And thank you. I talked on Friday about the ultimate vulnerability, and being in front of colleagues sometimes can be a little stressful because, you know, and then we're telling our stories and we're hoping to just be open, and thank you for being able to do that.
Well, and that's what I was saying today. I'm like, I can talk your ear off. I tell people, if you're coming to my store, you better plan for a minimum of a half an hour because I do not shut up. So it just seems like this would be a natural for me, but honestly, I'm like shaking.
Right?
I'm so nervous.
Yeah. So that's okay.
No,
because
it's
the
being
nervous is the
vulnerable.
fun part,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
So take us back to the moment before you kind of started and opened your doors. What sparked the idea to start the types of businesses that you've gotten into?
Well, I had a kid and I started planning birthday parties for him. And I was like, wow, like this is so much fun. And I'm kind of good at it.
And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. So I just started planning parties for anyone who would let me. I'm like, oh, it's your birthday. Let me organize something. Let me decorate. And so I just started doing that. And then there was a huge love for it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this. I'm going to start this business. And my husband quickly shut me down. And he was like, no, we're not doing that right now. We just had a family or started growing our family. He's like, this is a little bit too risky. And so after much thought, I agreed. I'm like, okay, I get it. We need consistency and stability. So I put it on the back burner and just continued doing the parties for friends and family. But after a while, I realized this isn't just something I can let go. This is something that's in my mind and in my heart and in my spirit, in my body. Right. So after quite a few years, I told him, I'm going to take a course. I'm going to take an event planning course. And if it doesn't go anywhere, then fine, I'll let it go. But if I don't do this, I'm going to resent you. I know that I will.
That's amazing to kind of know that and have that
It
conversation.
was not a fun conversation
No,
to
but
have.
good on you, because sometimes we don't.
Well, and I think that was it. I had to live my truth, and I knew that there was just something calling me to this. So I took the event planning course, and of course I aced it. And then I was like, okay, you know what? There's a wedding show in Grand Prairie. I'm going to put a booth. I'm going to decorate it. And if nobody comments and I don't get any positive feedback, I've done everything. I'm good to walk away.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Well, there used to be a publication called Ultimate Bridal here in Grand Prairie that focused on weddings in the Peace region. And they saw my booth, and they gave me a 4-page spread. So I was like, it was one of those moments where I was like, I told you so. So that was kind of how I got started in the event planning stuff. Of course, I still worked, and I did it as a side hustle for many years. Absolutely. It was a lot of work, but eventually we just started getting some recognition. And so that's how Pierre & Co. was born. Then I was still working for the family business, and again, I decided this isn't the life for me. I'm not happy. Like, am I truly happy? No. So I was like, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to get a loan, and I'm going to open an event planning business here in Grand Prairie. So I did that, and it was not an easy thing to get to. It took me a long time to, people don't think linens are valuable, just so you know. And so I got the loan, and I found a space. My husband's a carpenter, so we started renovating, and then COVID hit.
Right.
And all events were canceled.
Oh, yes.
So
You pivoted.
I drank for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
And eventually...
Anybody else do that for maybe more than 2 weeks?
Well...
yeah, we did cocktail evenings as a staff online to let the extroverts talk as we had wine.
I think the liquor stores were very happy during that period.
They did well.
That was a good business to own then. And so Brian said to me, like, what are you going to do? And I had taken a floral design course to help my wedding clients.
Incidentally.
Yes, conveniently. So
it's like you knew. It looked like you knew the crystal ball, and you just looked brilliant.
Say the universe puts you where you need to be.
Yeah.
Whether or not you understand in that moment, there's a purpose. And so I feel like that was my purpose. I had to pivot. I started selling bouquets on Facebook. Yeah. We called them isolation bouquets. My son and I would drive around Grand Prairie for 3 hours every Friday, Nikki 9-dooring people, dropping these flowers off.
Fantastic.
And we just started selling out every week, and that's how Petals was born.
Isn't that crazy? Like, anyone else in the room had an experience like that where you're like, this is going to be my business. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, actually, it's this, right? And this is a great example of maybe the universe making some decisions for you, but saying, hey, you have more to give here. Let's find out vertical integration right from the beginning.
Yeah. It was a tough decision, and I'm the greatest decision of my life, though, because I feel like I am where I need to be right now.
Totally. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. When you and I met a couple days ago, you were talking about having those conversations with yourself about, am I happy? Tell us a little bit about those conversations, because I think we've all had them, oftentimes going, I'm not, but. And that's the ... that's concerning. Tell me how you got past the I'm not happy, but I'm going to get there.
Sure. Let's talk about how I got to the I'm not happy point.
Oh, there you go.
I think I was 38. I remember when this happened. I was 38 and I was looking at my life, and I have a beautiful family, a happy marriage, 3 beautiful kids, but I didn't feel fulfilled. I wasn't happy. Like I said, if I died tomorrow, would I feel like I did everything I needed to? And it was a hell no. And so I had to have is there Kleenexes?
Right.
I had to have a really deep conversation with myself, and it was kind of ugly, to be honest with you, because I was like, why am I not happy?
Yeah.
And I had to call out my bullshit, to be honest with you. And that's a really hard thing to do for yourself. And I was like, okay, I'm not following my dream because I'm scared. I'm scared of my husband, what he's going to say. I'm scared of failing.
Yeah.
I'm scared of all these things, and it's stopping me from doing this. So at that point, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Yep. If I die tomorrow, I want to know that I did everything I wanted to do, that I left this world impacted and beautiful and did, what I really felt I needed to. So that's when I stopped living my life for other people and started living it for myself.
Bam. And mic drop.
It was
all you
hard.
Got out of that. It's so hard. And I'm the one that's kind of peripheral, being like, you go, girl, let's do this, take the call. And everybody's like, this is my life, not yours. I have to go home and have these conversations. I have to justify being away, all of these things. Your role changes in all of those dynamics.
And I think that was part of that. It was a challenge, right? Yeah. Because when you're being real with yourself, you have to face all the stuff. And, the dynamics of my relationship changed. My family changed. My husband had to step up. Not that he didn't. He's a great man. Shout out to Brian. Whoop, whoop. Someone take a video of that, send it to me so I can send it to him. And it was a lot of different growth. Oh, I was joking, but thank you. You never know where we're going to go with this. The other thing was I had to do a lot of soul searching. And in that soul searching, there were different stages of it. One of the things was, why am I not happy? How do I get happy? The other one was putting boundaries.
Yep.
And this was the hardest lesson I had to learn, is putting healthy boundaries in, because I was living that life for everyone else. So now when you make this shift and you start focusing on yourself, a lot of people think you're narcissistic.
Now you're just being selfish.
Yeah, you're being selfish. You're not thinking of things. The whole narrative of all my relationships shifted. I wasn't there for these people in the capacity that I had been. And now I was focusing on myself. And I learned it's okay to say no. Did you hear that?
No's a one
It
word
is
sentence.
okay.
Totally.
And that was a really tough lesson for me, because even if you know me, I'm a giver.
Yes,
And
yes.
yeah. So it was really hard to claim my time back, claim my space, my emotions, everything. It was the toughest lesson I had to learn, but the most valuable lesson I learned, because now I'm not living my life for other people. I am truly living it for myself.
And I think I can speak for pretty much anyone who's worked with Melissa in any capacity. Is we are so happy that you took that leap and that you set those boundaries. Like,
Oh, thank you.
because I'm sure there's people in this room that see you as their mentor and see you as an idol.
Lord
I
help
can almost
us.
guarantee it. I can guarantee it, because it's that incidental. You just do what you do, and others are like, that's how I want to be.
Well, and that's funny. We kind of talked about something else, about confidence.
Right.
And I like to touch on this. A lot of people think I'm a bitch. But I'm not. I'm actually, I like to think, a super nice person.
I'm a people.
I'm people, yeah. I like to think I'm a really nice person, but the thing is, in claiming my time and claiming myself and living for myself, it has given me confidence. I don't second guess myself as much. Am I walking around like I know it all? Hell no, I'm shaking my boots right now.
It doesn't show. I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying. And so the biggest thing for me is I walk with my head up. I feel like, okay, even if I'm wrong, I'm going to own it, right? I'm going to own myself. And so I'm very confident. And one of the things that I would like us to break the stigma on, and this will be my mission in life, is that confidence isn't bitchiness.
Right.
It really isn't.
You're not the bossy girl. You're just focused.
Well, I can't tell you how many people come up to me and say that I'm intimidating. And it kind of made me upset.
You're like,
because I'm
what?
I feel good about myself.
Yeah.
Why should that be a negative? We should be building each other up, not knocking each other down, being like, you're scary, right? Be like, yeah, that girl knows what she's doing. Good for her, right?
100%. Let's put that crown on.
Yeah.
Everybody have a crown. Yeah.
And encourage everyone else to take that crown.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I will build you up. If you need something, you come talk to me, because I will do whatever it takes to help you.
Love that.
Yeah.
So shifting gears, obviously you set those boundaries. You created, first of all, opportunities to find those confidences. You built businesses, all of those types of things. So as you're going along, for us, a lot of times when we're watching people get into business, a lot of times it looks like, oh, that was an overnight success. Oh, look at how successful she is. Oh, I could never be that successful. So turning it a little bit, was there a moment when you thought, I've made a terrible mistake? And what kept you going?
Every freaking day.
Right?
Does anybody want to buy a flower business? Hit me up if you do.
It's worth it. Yeah.
I think, yes, absolutely. I feel that way often. Owning a business is not easy. And from the outside and from social media, it looks like, oh, yay, all I do is play with flowers and plan parties. It's such a glamorous life. Well, it isn't. I'm working till 2 a.m. I have to tear this stuff down afterwards. You know what I mean? So there's so much to do, and it can be really, really overwhelming. And as much as we seem to have it together, you don't. You never do, I think.
I think you're right.
You know what I
There's
mean?
always the next thing we can be critical of, and the next thing we could grow or be better at.
Well, and owning a business is tough, especially in this economic climate. You have to pivot.
Yeah.
You have to be inventive. You have to be constantly creating
You bet.
and enticing people, especially with social media now, right? People like visual things. And so if you're not creating that and staying on to the next thing, it's easy to be passed by.
You bet.
And yeah.
So you just keep going.
So yes, I feel that way almost every day, especially when I am working 7 days a week.
Yeah. You know, it's quite funny because I think I've had so many business owners who come in and they're like, I think my team, my staff thinks I'm a millionaire. Because I think the assumption is if you've not been in business before, if you've not explored that, we do place entrepreneurs kind of on a pedestal, and we just make the assumption that if you just start a business, you have a lot of zeros. And we know that's kind of almost the farthest from the truth.
How many of you
Yeah.
don't pay yourself
Enough or at all?
enough or at all?
100%, right? So entrepreneurship is really often glamorized, and I think a lot of people even who come through my office are like, oh, I want to start a business, and then you start to really get into it. It's not that romantic. You get into the muddy stuff, you get into 24/7 work and all of those things, and that's where you kind of weed out true entrepreneurs versus, you know, maybe I was creating a job for myself and that sort of thing. So what was the hardest leadership decision you had to make when things were uncertain?
Where to start? There was a lot of decisions that I had to make. The biggest one is whether or not to keep going, right? I think that's the hardest one. It took a long time, and like you said, people were glamorizing entrepreneurship. It took a long time to get my business established and to get followers. And I honestly, my biggest thing that I messed up on is I thought if I built it, they would come. They didn't.
Not
and I
like one of
waited
them. She was
and
like,
waited
knock, knock, knock.
and looked out the window. Where are they? And that was, I think, the biggest misconception for me at the beginning, because I had no clue what the hell I was doing, and I honestly still feel like I don't. But I thought, you know, I'm going to build this flower store. I'm selling out my isolation bouquets. They're going to love me. Grand Prairie is a tricky town. It's a community of who you know. There's a lot of families that, you know, have grown up here, and there's that loyalty. So cracking into a market that you have no connection to was tough.
Yep.
And so I think, the biggest misconception I had was if you build it, they will come.
Absolutely. And I remember you saying something about, I wanted to prove everyone wrong and myself right.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the only thing that keeps you going is like, I'm not going to let that person dictate how this is going to go.
Ooh, that was some good fire. And that really was. I had, you know, I think a lot of people doubted me and thinking, oh, this is just Melissa. She's, you know, her ADHD. She's into this for now and it'll pass. Well, it didn't pass. And I felt like I needed to validate myself to myself. I knew I loved this and I wanted this. And I needed this, so I had to prove it to myself. And it made it a little bit sweeter when I proved it to everyone else too. I'm not totally. So it was a really good fire just to be like, keep going.
Right.
You got this.
The impetus is there, and the desire is there, and the fire in your belly, and that soft belly, you know.
Oh yes.
We talked a lot about, and a lot of you shared with me over the years, overwhelm, taking it all on, trying to be all things to all people. We're super women. I'm not, like, the superpower is real in women. And then Melissa and I were talking about, like, what systems or boundaries helped you avoid burnout? What did you tell me?
I have mini meltdowns. and I have them often.
Little burnout.
Little burnouts. Little burnouts. Rhea can attest to those. I honestly, especially in my business, because I'm running two businesses that are sister companies and they coexist. So obviously we do the event planning and then we tie in the florals because I'm not an idiot and I'm going to double down if I can. But it causes a lot of stress and a lot of juggling for me, especially, you know, we have a team of 7 people. That's a huge responsibility, knowing that 7 people are relying on you to pay them, right? Yeah. So there's a lot of responsibility comes with that. So with that, you know, sometimes I'm just in fight or flight mode and I'm just like, hey, I always tell people I'm about solutions, not problems. So when we're faced with all these things coming at us, I'm very decisive. I'm like, this, that, there, go there, right? Mm-hmm. But with that comes a lot of pressure. Right. And in those moments when you're full swing, you don't have the time or the energy to absorb it. But so for example, Valentine's Day, it's our busiest day. So after Valentine's Day, I take 4 days to decompress.
Good job.
And I literally go home, I lay on the couch, I have a little cry because fuck, I did it. We got through it. We made it through another year. Woohoo. And then, yeah, I shut off the world. I turn my phone off. I lay in bed if I need to lay in bed. I have baths, and I honestly allow myself that.
The grace.
And I don't feel guilty because
Hard.
I think self-care is really important, especially as a business owner and a mother and a wife and all that. So taking that time to kind of decompress is really important.
Yeah.
Do you all do that? Please tell me I'm not alone.
Give yourself permission. If you're not doing it, whatever that is. Maybe it's even 45 minutes that's away. You know, sometimes, you know, I have a male counterpart in my life. He spends a lot of time in the washroom. I think that's his way to get away from me. So yeah, I really commiserate with what you're saying because I think we do never want to show that we don't know or that we can't handle it because that's just buying into the people who said you couldn't. So it's like go, and you hit that wall. And not everybody does. Like maybe you're just better at balancing the things, but I think more often we
Teach me if you are.
Right?
The other thing, too, is I think, though, as mothers and women, we have more responsibility on ourselves than, say, our male counterpart who can just go to work. I was saying to you, Brian never asked me if he had to stay late or work on the weekends, but I always have to check in with him, right? Like, okay, I need to do this. Yeah. I'm not going to be here. You got this. You got dinner. You got the kids, right?
The kids, you have the kids, right?
yeah. The kids first before dinner. But you know what I mean? So it is a lot of pressure and it's a lot of stress. And I think that we as women, we try and hold our heads up high and we try and pretend like, everything is okay, right? Everything's fine. I'm okay. But really, inside, we're dying. And so I think just, giving yourself that grace, allow yourself to have that process.
And one of the things that I've really recognized through Hyperdrive, and I think what we see in the rise of kind of women entrepreneurship, and we're really empowering ourselves, is showing up for one another. And so who showed up for you when things were hardest, and how did that support help to change you?
No one. You're all dead to me. Just kidding.
That's good.
I'm just kidding. Actually, there's one person who happens to be in this room, and I think you probably all know who she is if you know me. It is Miss Rhea Jarvis. So the fun thing is I joined this little organization called Women in Business. It was just rebooting itself, and I met her then. I actually met quite a few women in this room from that organization.
Yeah.
And it was such a great place for me. I was feeling all the things that we discussed today, and I felt alone. I felt isolated. Nobody in my circle understood what I was going through because, again, this was all new.
Yeah.
And I was pivoting and changing, and my views and my issues and everything weren't aligning with what I had known, right?
That's when you're talking away about your business and they're like, oh my God.
Like, shut up, right? And that was it. And no shade to my friends. They're still my friends, but just everything shifted in my life, and I needed to find like-minded people.
Yeah.
And so that organization really gave me a safe space
Beautiful.
to be honest.
Yeah.
And to be like, I am having troubles with this. And it was so nice because she would be like, girl, I hear you, right? And so it was such a nice, comforting space, and I really feel like that was hugely supportive. Of course, my husband came around, and now he's probably my number one cheerleader.
That's why he's still around. No, I'm kidding.
We'll see. We'll see. I still got a little bit of time with me. Yeah, so obviously family, friends, the usual. But definitely I got to give a shout out to the women in business. If you haven't been a part of that organization, jump in there. They do mixers. Yeah. It's fantastic. And it's so nice to feel seen and to feel understood.
Validated. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and I mean, I've not been to as many of those as I like to, and I always regret it because I look at the pictures and I'm just like, oh, that's that vibe, right?
Honestly, everyone always says, and I know lots of us have been to them, but everyone always says when they leave, wow, I needed that.
Yep. You didn't even know, right?
Well,
we
and
don't
I
know
think
we don't
there's
know.
something cosmic about women and our energy, especially when we're united and supportive. That is electric. You can feel it in your body.
That's the magic, you know?
The magic of
for sure.
women.
One of the things that I think a lot of women deal with is kind of related to success and the way people see us. I discussed it on Friday, my talk, when imposter syndrome creeps in, because it's kind of inevitable. We try to quiet those voices. We hear people telling us to. What helps to ground you? Because I know you've won awards and all that kind of stuff. So what grounds you through that?
You guys, people, that's what honestly keeps me going every single day. The connections that I have with my client base is incredible. I can tell you story after story of people coming into the flower store and literally breaking down. And of course, I have the sweetest staff, and we're all huggers. So we all come running and surround these people and just let them know that, you know, it's okay and it's going to be okay. It doesn't feel like it, but it will be. Yeah. And honestly, just having that connection, if you follow us on social media, you'll see I posted a picture of a little girl yesterday, and it was her 3rd birthday bouquet from us, and she turned 3. Yeah. She got one for every birthday, and it honestly, her mom sends me the picture every year and shows me how happy she is, and it is truly this connection. People came into the store just to get flowers and have literally become my friends. Yep. And the staff, and everyone comes in, and that's why I said, if you come, half hour.
At least, yeah.
At least.
And probably plan to spend a little more than what you planned to, because you have cool things in your store as well.
Well, we try.
And I know that story that you're talking about, especially that connection with the children and the impact and how you...
Shout out Gabriella.
You help people through hard times and show that to kids as well. And I know there's a lot of women in this room that have shared with me some of the impactful things that their businesses have done, not with any like agenda, but that it just incidentally happened. And sometimes those really do involve that other generation that just was like, had such an amazing experience with us. And I think that's important too.
I'm a Cancer, so my natural being is to be a caregiver. So if you've got a problem, it's so crazy actually. I'm going to side story this. My husband was laughing because people tell me things, and like the most random people. For example, I was in Walmart and And this woman walked up to me, and I just made some comment to her. And next thing you know, she's telling me about how her friend is sick and she's been taking care of her, and it's been overwhelming. And I just sat there and listened, and I'm like, you know what? You got this, and she's so lucky to have you.
She's so lucky she had you.
It's just kind of weird, but it's something that I don't take lightly. It is an honor for me to be a part of your celebrations, to be a part of the sad things too. It means a lot to me because it's not easy to share those things and to be vulnerable. So thank you. Thank you for doing that for me.
Very much. Awesome. So as we all know, Melissa's always got ideas. So do we all. We almost have too many ideas, not enough time, energy, and money to actually do the things. But what does the next chapter look like for you and your businesses?
World domination.
Boom, boom, boom. Love it.
Well, there's lots going on, and I don't want to give too much information. This year's really exciting, though, because I brought in someone to help me with events, so you'll be seeing a ton of events from us. Obviously, we got a shout out for that sing-along brunch.
So fun.
And you ladies should all come. It is amazing. It is such a good relief. It is a feel-good time.
I feel like we could just incorporate that into the next
screw
Hyperdrive.
lunch. Let's do it now, okay?
Yeah, let's do
I
it
got
right
a
now. What do you
phone.
think?
I can play some music.
We're just gonna have a little
Yeah,
concert.
We're gonna have a sing-along brunch lunch.
I love it.
Yeah, so we have a lot of stuff for the event side of stuff, but also with Petals, we got some things up our sleeves that we have coming along, which is really exciting. I do want to grow the company, and that's the whole plan, especially because I see how much it means to the community.
Right.
I get stopped every single time I go out and someone tells me, I love your social media. I love that you do Mental Health Monday bouquets. I love that you do this and that. And that honestly just stokes that fire.
Absolutely.
That's inside of me. So just keep praising me all today, okay?
We need that, right?
Yeah. No, but it inspires me because it's like, okay, what can I do for you guys? What can I give you more? What can I make better? How can I make this better? And that's honestly what I'd like to do. I'm building a legacy for my children,
Right.
and to make the world a little bit better.
Awesome. That's awesome. One final question before we close. Why do you think women keep building even when it's hard, uncertain, and vulnerable?
Because we're crazy. Just kidding.
You have to be a little, right?
A little bit
Right?
crazy.
Totally.
I think at the core of who we are as women is we naturally want to make things better. And I think we do make things better. And
We really do.
that connection, like I'm saying, even being in this room today, don't you feel it? Don't you feel seen? Don't you feel heard? Don't you feel empowered, inspired, any of that? Like, that's how I
hope
feel.
so, right?
And I also feel like, the men have had long enough. Like they've had their run, and now it's time for us to show them how it should be done.
Boo. And with that, thank you so much, Melissa, for sharing
Thanks for
yourself today,
listening.
for being part of our podcast series. For those of you who aren't aware, Jennifer mentioned it before, we do have an entire podcast series. It is available Spotify, YouTube, our website, hyperdrivesummit.com. You can go back. You can see all the ones from the very beginning. A lot of the women that we have interviewed have been part of that or part of kind of the background to it. Giselle was our first one from, oh my God. On Demand Promotions. Oh, see? That's my brain. If it's not actually written, I guess I don't remember it. But yeah, those stories, I will say as a child, I was always going to be the journalist, and that didn't happen for me. And now I actually just get to be a really cool interviewer and find out about these phenomenal women that are in our community, moving and shaking and doing the things and taking the risks. And thank you so much, Melissa, for sharing today. Thank you to everyone for listening. And I look forward to hearing more. And any final messages?
Just thank you. Sorry, I hope I didn't bore you. And come to my events and buy my flowers. And let's all be friends, okay?
Check.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.